Good morning, besties. Trying out a new opener. We'll see. Insert title here. If I had one, I should make one. Probably just like 3 otters in a trench coat. Although I do have some. I have some artwork. Anyway, so it's day 2 of the trans rights readathon. I have a new author I want to promote, but her stuff is not out yet. And it's going to be like casual farmer level of like, I read it and then I showed it to like 10 of my closest friends. And now I'm talking to her about the plot, and I'm just like, I don't want to spoil this. Once she has her stuff out, though, I will go to talk about it. Hopefully she'll launch in 2 weeks. I don't even have a watch on. I'm not prepared for this today. So today I want to talk about Firefox Esquire. I have it on good authority that the author is, or the character is trans. I have not spoken to the author. However, multiple people that I know have spoken to her, I'm assuming she, about this series, who are in the community. So I'm going to go off of their recommendation, because 2 people recommended this. The writer of Quill and Still recommended FoxFire Esquire, and the writer of Patrick Serafina, I think, recommended it. Processing. I don't remember. Anyway, so the point is, so let me give you the background, is that the author of FoxFire Esquire is a constitutional lawyer, or does federal appellate stuff. So the author really understands how cases work through the courts at the federal level, and probably also at like the DC circuit, right? Really good understanding of it. So the first scene, they're in court, and then so that the main character is a superhero, or like a gray area retired superhero. Like, she was a superhero for 6 years, she had powers, and then she came back to America. And there's this whole thing about her powers manifesting while she was in Japan, in conjunction with a Japanese superhero, and how that kind of diplomacy of like, you have to give us our hero back, but they're like, no, but if you take your hero, then you take our hero. Anyway, that was really an interesting thing. I'd never thought about that outside of the professional context of this one, but like, I could see how that could happen. And the implication of that is just like, the author really understands the specific thing that they're writing about. And like, when you can see an author knows what they're speaking about, like, if you, like, I would love to, like, I have a midwife in my thing because I want to be a midwife at some point in time. If you could, and so like, I went to nursing school. I'm not a nurse. If you hadn't guessed. So like, if you have an author that speaks about something they really understand well, right? Like, so you can kind of see that in the text, right? So it is kind of like if She-Hulk was good, and I haven't seen She-Hulk yet. It's on my list, but like, it has this narrow double focus. So the narrow focus is on the main character's career and what they're doing to like give you some backstory, but that is like the flavor text over one specific case, which involves superheroes, right? Because I think the premise is that most of her cases don't involve superheroes, but because she is a superhero who is also a lawyer who understands the system, she has a special access to being able to interview superheroes related to cases, and that really plays out well, period. And the other thing, and this is me talking with this again, is that they bring in the National Guard in a way that I'm just like, oh, that is exactly how it would do it. And like, the superheroes, so I'm just, so like, glowing review, go read it. I really hope that they publish this and turn it into an audiobook like ASAP. I caught up to it a month ago. I'm going to keep reading it. It is amazing. I recommend it. But this one thing is exactly how the National Guard would do it. So the National Guard federalized all of the superheroes and they're like, you're going to be in the like this inactive ready reserve, right? Unless we call up for you, but you're going to do your 6 years of service, and it's going to be the National Guard headquarters in D.C., the Federal National Guard Bureau. So like, there is this dual state control, like in most other states, like Florida, the National Guard answers to the governor of Florida in disaster situations, but in times of war, they can be called up by the president, right? Having the National Guard Bureau, which is like the federal level of the National Guard, control all the heroes, it makes just like such bureaucratic sense that I'm just like, oh man, you did that. So good job to Noah, the author. I'm just like reading this. I'm just like, okay. All of this is incredibly well written, and I would say it's well researched, but you can't research into a fantasy world. You can make it, but you know what I mean. Like it's like the author knows what they're talking about really well, and it is so well written that it's just like, man. So that's my recommendation for today, day 2 of Trans Rights Readathon. Check that one out. I think tomorrow I'll be doing Quill and Still. I have 2 copies of that. It's good. But FoxFire Esquire, I'm not sure if the first book is there. I'm going to link it below, and I'll put in the notes if it's done with the first book or not. But I can recommend that. Basically, everyone that has read it recommends it. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thanks, besties.